When I was a child, I loved stickers. I had stickers on my bicycle, stickers on my skateboard, and stickers on my school books. One time I put stickers on my bedroom wall only to discover that they pulled off the wallpaper if you tried to remove them. My mum was not impressed. But the stickers I loved most were football or soccer stickers. This was long before the advent of those fancy sticker books from the likes of Panini. In fact, my stickers and the books into which they were stuck often came from a petrol station. I had one to coincide with a World Cup in the mid 1970s, quite possibly 1978 in Argentina. But the one I remember most vividly was a navy blue sticker book, which, if memory serves me correctly, came from Esso. Within that book was a space for stickers representing the entire English First and Second Division, together with the old Scottish First Division. I remember the Scottish element particularly well because it took literally months of collecting and swapping before I finally added the badge of the final club, Falkirk. Now, I was at an unfair advantage with these particular stickers. My father was a chauffeur for most of my formative years, so he was in and out of petrol stations on an almost daily basis. He started to do detours to fill up at Esso stations to get me my precious stickers. Well, I've got to be honest, I wish I'd kept those sticker books. They might be worth a few quid today. But looking back at them, I now question just what all the fuss was about. Thanks to my dad's job, I could collect stickers a bit faster than some of my friends, but it didn't make me better in any way. My carefully curated collection never gave me a game for West Ham or for Falkirk for that matter. I just had a big bunch of stickers, stickers that would ultimately be discarded and then replaced the following year or the following season. I was reminded all of that this past week when I received an email from a UK demolition contractor. The email message itself was 3.5 lines long, just a single paragraph, but the email took up my entire screen. In fact, it spilled over at the bottom. I had to scroll up just to take in the sheer volume of accreditations detailed at the foot of the message. That email had the lot. In fact, it had accreditations I hadn't even heard of. I had to look them up. It had, and I'm doing this in no particular order, the Contractors Health and Safety Assessment Scheme, or CHAS, Construction Line, Safe Contractor, Consider Constructors Scheme, which is CCS, CITB, CSCS, NDTG, and NFDC. It also had SMAS, Safety Management Advisory Services. I had to look that one up. But it's similar to CHAS and Safe Contractor and part of the SSIP, or Safety Schemes in Procurement umbrella. Just for good measure, they listed SSIP separately too. I think they may have also had an ISO or possibly two, maybe even a 50-meter breaststroke and a jiu-jitsu yellow belt as well. I've got to be honest, my eyes have grown tired at that point. If instead of collecting accreditations, they'd been playing poker, this company had a full house, a royal flush, two of a kind, three of a kind, four of a kind, and a straight. Looking at this incredible array of badges and logos was like looking at the chest of a military dictator that has awarded himself every conceivable medal, together with a few that he made up, just to feel important. Now, my first thought at seeing all these accreditations displayed was, wow. But the more I thought about it, the more I began to question the true value and the cost of the individual badges. Most, if not all, of these accreditations came at a cost, some in the form of time spent, some at an actual financial cost, and some costing both time and money. How much time and how much money had been invested in all those accreditations, I pondered. £10,000, £20,000, more? And as far as I could tell, none of these accreditations were accreditations for life. Rather like my football sticker books, these would require renewal every single year. I pondered further. The Victoria Cross is the highest and most prestigious medal of the British decoration system. It's awarded for valour in the presence of the enemy to members of the British Armed Forces. Often awarded posthumously, the value in the Victoria Cross is in its rarity. Only the bravest of the brave get to receive one. If they gave a Victoria Cross to every person that joined the armed forces, its value would be greatly diminished. Its value would be diminished even further if you could get yourself a Victoria Cross just by paying an annual membership fee. So the more I looked at that email message and its plethora of accreditations, the more I realized that, in truth, this company was just a paying member to a lot of quite expensive and not particularly exclusive clubs. Clubs that, in many instances, had hundreds, thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of members, each of them sporting the same badge of honour and distinction. Could I look at any of those accreditations and think this company is a cut above the rest? No. There was not a single accreditation that might prove to me or to anyone else that this company was in some way elite. It was like my sticker book, comprehensive, complete, and well curated, but my sticker book didn't afford me the status of professional football player. It didn't prove that I was a midfield maestro, and it didn't get me a place in the starting 11 for West Ham or for Falkirk. It just meant I was quite good at collecting stickers, or rather, that my dad was.